Step into the Dueling Dimension Gaming Tavern, where cards clash, dice roll, and legends rise. Duel in epic battles, forge alliances, and test your strategy in tabletop quests. Will you claim victory? Join now and let the games begin.
Hey guys, Dungeon Saber Duelist here. I'm here to do a deck profile with our good friend Solar, and he's gonna kick it off.
All right, so we're doing a deck profile for Maliss here. I'm gonna start with the monsters. So for the main Maliss lineup, we got one Dormouse, we got 3 Chessy Cat, 2 White Rabbit, and 3 March Hare. So this is the main lineup that I use. Anyone else can make something different. You could put March Hare is a mandatory 3-up, but you could put the White Rabbit down to 1, Chessy to 2. This is just preference. For the support cards, we have Backup at Ignister at 3, Wizard at Ignister for the 1-of. Dotscaper, this card's just still really good. Until they either get rid of our ransom or any card, or they just straight up decide to get rid of this and put this on the ban list. This card's just really good. It's just good link fodder to get everything up. EMP Meow Mine. I personally like this card. It does exactly like Cold Talker Heat Soul does. Except this is a free Link 2 fodder. You could just special summon this if you control a Link. And then if a Link 2 or higher leaves the field, which this graveyard effect is good, either leaves the field to go from the graveyard or banishment, you could banish this card and then you just basically bounce something your opponent has on the board, monster-wise. That's really annoying. The main lineup for the Bestials, we have the 1 Baldrake, the 1 Magnum Hunt, and the 1 Durasworm. I haven't figured out any other ratio concerning any other Bestials. I guess my list will change depending on ban list and if they decide to limit more names, which to me is unnecessary. But the only 6 hand traps that I got are 3 Hualos and 3 Ash Blossom. Honestly, this might change to have a 3 Droll Lockbird, but it always really depended on my area. But alright, so that's it with the monsters. Next we're going to go on to the spells. For the spells, I got Malice names starting first. We have Malice in the Mirror, Malice in Underground. And then for the generic stuff, I have things like Spell Card Monster Reborn. I like this card personally. This card's really funny, especially if you face off against people that are not expecting it. Whether you are grabbing your own link fodder back, be it a Malice name or not, you could also just take your opponent's stuff. Only drawback is that you can't activate the monster effect, but by the time you have this card in your hand, you've probably already used that monster. You don't care what you're using specifically. The other good cards that I have, Alert of Darkness. Obviously, every Malice name is dark. This is just a plus. The 1 Gold Sark and the 1 Terraforming. Because we got to get to that field spell as fast as possible. Alright. And now we're going to start with the traps. In Malice name, we have TB11, MTP07, and GWC06. I personally run one of each trap. I know I've all been seeing lists where they say, oh, side deck to GWC06. I like main decking this. Plus, this just goes well with the field spell. With the field spell's passive, where all 3 of these names are banished. You basically have 3 big beaters on the board. So that's all the Malice names. And then for the last 3 traps, I have Dominus Impulse. This is self-explanatory. Every card that we play in Malice is practically dark, except for like the Dotscaper that I mentioned before. But Dotscaper is just funny. Whether I can get it off, it's not mandatory. Right. So that is all the traps. On to the extra deck. So in Malice name we have White Binder, we have Red Ransom, and we have Heart Scripter. Basic 3 1 card lineup. Obviously your list could change. My list might change. I might include 2 more of these specifically. Heart Scripter is just really good because she's just a funny little, hey, I'm gonna shuffle something that's banished back, which could be your field spell, which is super important in this deck. And then you get a non-target banish, and if she's pointing to anything, obviously your opponent can't respond to it. Next I got the Lingering Bow. This also self-explanatory for most Malice and Cybers players. Free link 1, trap negate depending on what they do. Obviously, counter traps are not subject to negation for this guy. We got the 1 link spider in case someone nibs. If we get hit with a Nibiru and we don't have a way to recover, this card actually helps out a ton. Next we have IP Masquerina. Card's really good. This could go into a hard script on your opponent's turn, or this could go into a really nasty Link 3, Link 4 on your opponent's turn. You're mainly making this either the first start of the combo, so that way you have this face up. She does require 2 non-links to make. Next we got Nightmare Cerberus. This is just for the spot removal for the monsters. This is subject to change depending on what you're playing against. We have the SP Little Knight. Pretty generic. Practically every build that is on the internet is running this card. But it is really good. If you use a link monster, you get a free banish. You just don't get an attack for that turn. But the quick effect is where it's at, because if you have any one of the Malice names on board, you could just banish and then you practically get effects for them. Next, I got Cyber's Wicked. I was running Top Logic Bomber Dragon at some point because the card was just funny. But this helps you get to the backup at Ignister at the cost of discarding a card. Next, I got Cherubini, Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. This card just helps dump a Malice name into the grave. Specifically, Dormouse is what I would use it for. Like, if I can't get to the Dormouse, either by adding it from deck to hand or drawing into it, use 2 level 3s, summon Cherubini. Cherubini dumps the Dormouse, and then you can do whatever you want from there at that point. Now for the big hitters, I have the Allied Code Talker at Ignister. Pretty free negate. It's a hard once per turn negate. And it just gets really big depending on how many 2300 attackers you have that you summon off of his effect. So you could either summon the access code, or any of the White Binder, Red Ransom, and basically it'll just get 500 each for them. Speaking of Access Code Talker, we have him right here. So, this card's really good. If you have one of the Malice Q names engraved, if you banish them off this effect to destroy, you effectively just get a big name back. You could use this with the Hard Scripter to basically banish the Hard Scripter to destroy something with access Code Talker's effect. And then this would pay the 900 for the cost to revive itself. It'll summon back as a big 5k beater, which is pretty good considering the fact that you want to end your opponent as fast as possible. You don't want to give him another turn. So the other cards that I got are Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid, Neo Tempest, Terahertz. This card's just really good for dumping things from the extra deck to the grave. Like, you can add other attributes to it. but this is not like a pure Code Talker Cybers build. So the only thing that you might get is like like a water, fire, depending on the cards you run. But for the last two that I run, I have Enigmaster Packbit. This card's just good for getting spot removing anything your opponent might have, because it'll put it in the face-up spell trap zone as a continuous monster. And then we have Cyber's the Save Worm for the obvious that if it's in the graveyard, it's a spell trap negate. And yep, no, that's what I got for the list as far as how my build goes. So
Thanks for the deck profile, Solar. And our goal going forward is going to be one deck profile a month. And it will normally happen at the end of the month. I'm not sure what day yet, but by the time this video posts, it'll be on that day every month. I'm not sure if I think it's either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Don't remember at the moment. But I'll put a little note in the description on that. But this is Dungeon Saber Duelist signing off. Peace.